Hey there, beautiful bride. This is Jillian Rosich Kendrick, founder of My Best Wedding and MyWeddingPlanningCourse.com. I'm really excited to bring you Wedding Wednesday. I'm actually in Phoenix, Arizona, out in Scottsdale right now for a conference, and I'm just super thrilled to be bringing Wedding Wednesday to you from Mountain Standard Time, and I hope you're having an amazing day and an amazing wedding planning. So sorry that I'm late coming onto this, but it actually kind of brings me, this is a good segue into what we're going to be talking about today. So I have just spent the last hour or so trying to figure out if I'm going to get a flight home, and that really brought back a lot of memories from when I was planning my wedding and I was trying to figure out travel plans, like for the honeymoon. Do we fly? Do we take a cruise? Do we drive? Do we take a train? Do we rent a car? Do we take our own car? Like, how are we getting there? Where are we even going? What do we want to do? What do we want for our honeymoon? How do you figure that out? How do you figure out logistics, and how do you make it work? Everybody has this kind of grandiose sort of movie theater concept of the fact that, like, you get married and you immediately get whisked away to your honeymoon, right? Or you get in a car and then jump on an airplane. Like, I've even seen episodes of Say Yes to the Dress where the bride specifically went in saying, I'm going to wear this wedding dress on an airplane because we're going to get married and then we're going to fly to Paris immediately. So it definitely happens, and you have to think about logistics, right? Like, it's one thing to look at Pinterest and say, oh, this is a beautiful picture, or, oh, this is a really great concept, or this would be really nice, but it's another thing to actually work through the logistics of how to make that happen and how to have a beautiful wedding in that way. So, if you're on with me live now, please like, comment, and share. Let me know your name and where you're calling in from, and I'd love to get a conversation started. If you have any questions around weddings, wedding planning, wedding logistics, please type them into the comments section below, and I would love to get some of your questions answered. In fact, I would love to do just a solid Q&A. If anybody has a question, I honestly charge about $150 an hour for my time to do consulting. So if you have a question, hey Dora, I love Dora. Dora's an awesome girl. If you have questions or you need something answered, this is me giving you my time for free right now. So if you have questions or you need something, now is the time to ask those questions. But while you're thinking of a question, and hopefully Facebook will post them, because I know I've had issues in the past, but while you're thinking of a question, let's talk about wedding logistics. So, what do you do for your honeymoon? How do you figure that out? How do you figure out the logistics? When are you going to leave? My husband and I, before our wedding, narrowed it down to, do we want to do a cruise? Do we want to do something? Do we want to drive somewhere? Do we want to take a flight somewhere? And my best recommendation to you is, during the wedding day, you are going to expend more energy, emotional energy, emotional energy, physical energy, mental energy, not only are your bones gonna hurt, but like the inside of your bones are gonna hurt just from standing and hugging, and your face is gonna hurt from smiling all day. A good hurt, don't worry. It's pain is beauty, right? But it's exhausting. It is incredibly exhausting to go through the wedding day and the whole process. So my recommendation to you, honestly, is get a hotel somewhere close to your venue for the night of, and go to sleep. Honestly, I know, you probably want a magical first night or a magical wedding night. I totally get that. I understand. I'm not saying no to that. But let me just tell you, you're going to be exhausted. It is a whirlwind of a day, and it goes by so fast, and you're just emotionally drained at the end of it. So I could barely stand up and barely hold my dress up by the end of the night by the time my husband and I got to our hotel room. So get a hotel room close to the venue, stay the night, and then go on your honeymoon. It would be my highest recommendation for you. Dora has a question. Hi, Dora. Again, hello. And anybody else who has questions, please feel free to like, comment, and share. Comment your question below here in the chat so that I can answer that for you. So Dora says, do I have tips for bridesmaids or groomsmen's gifts? Do we get our parents or other special people a gift as well? So really good question. And again, I always go back to it depends on budget, right? What's in your budget? How much of your budget, what percentage of your budget, how much funds did you allocate for different things in your wedding, right? Dora knows I've talked about this before. So what I'll say to that is typically the bride should pay for the bridesmaid's gifts, the groom should pay for the groomsmaid gift. Or groomsmaid. Did I just say that? Holy hell. the groomsman's gift. So pick something that, you'd like. And again, it depends entirely on budget. Like, do you want to go expensive? Do you want to go a little less expensive? And what do they like? I am a very practical gift giver. I really hate useless gifts and I hate impractical gifts. So for me personally, like a good groomsman gift would be like a watch or a flask or like something that they can actually use in their everyday life, and then that becomes a keepsake from your wedding that they'll cherish and they'll be able to use every day and look at, and it reminds them of you, So I really like practical gifts. I really like gifts that you can actually use and get, touch with your hands often. So I would recommend things like that. For bridesmaids, a very common gift is going to be like jewelry, something that helps accent the dress, right? Because they have to buy their own dress. They have to buy or already have their own pair of dress shoes. So you might as well get them like a nice necklace or a bracelet or a pair of earrings or like a jewelry set of some sort that can look really nice and maybe has your colors, matches your colors, goes with the dress, goes with the theme of the wedding. And you can really play up your theme and your colors to go for in that sense also. So those are really gifts. As far as parents' gifts, you don't have to give them. For instance, I decided to give my parents gifts, but my husband decided not to give his mom that gift, and that was just our choice. We didn't I didn't go tell his mom, like, hey, I'm getting my mom a gift. Unless you really want a family feud, then good luck with that. But I chose to give my mom and dad a gift because I wanted to, and I felt it was the right thing to do, and they contributed financially to our wedding, so I wanted to make sure that I gave back to them in that way. But you can do whatever you want, whatever you think is necessary. Something that I really wanted to do that I wasn't able to, by the time I found it, I didn't have the time to get it done. But I think on Etsy, you can go and get these like embroidered handkerchiefs, and some of them say like, thank you for raising the man of my dreams, or like, thank you for being such a wonderful mother to me, or thank you for raising me, or something like that you can have written like to your mom or to your future mother-in-law. That way, like, she has that as a keepsake again, and that's relatively expensive. You really shouldn't pay more than like $10-15 for something like that, but just as much as it's inexpensive, it can still be beautiful and memorable without having to spend a ton of money, right? And Etsy's awesome. I'm sure you know that already. Being a DIY bride. So thank you, Dora, for that question. And again, if you have any more questions, just go ahead and comment below. Carolyn, hi Carolyn. Where's Carolyn? Where are you calling in from? I want to know where you're from. Let me know. And anybody else, let me know who you are and where you're from, and ask a question if you have any questions about weddings and wedding planning. So Carolyn asks, any feedback on a day after brunch? I love this because the day after brunch you can do so much with. The day after brunch is awesome. I actually did a day after brunch. So my husband and I, we had our hotel. We got married in Orlando, and I love Disney. If you watch some of my videos, I'm a Disney nerd. He and I stayed at the Animal Kingdom Lodge the night of our wedding, and then the next morning we got up and we had breakfast with several like close family members and a couple really, really close friends, and they actually came to the hotel restaurant at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and we had a breakfast there. Now you can go overboard. You can like hire out a restaurant, you could do the extravagant thing, you could get a private room, you could get a catered meal, you could go back to the wedding venue the next day and have your brunch. Like, there's all sorts of different options that you can do, but it really can be just as simple as a bagel and a goodbye. Like, you could even send out invitations to your, oh, Carolyn's from Texas, awesome. You could even send out invitations to your brunch and title your brunch a bagel and a goodbye, or, you know, something like egg, like there's got to be a play on words of like eggs Benedict and the word bye instead of Benedict. There's got to be something there. Anyway, but so you could, you know, you could easily do things like that. We just very casually mentioned to several friends and family members, like, hey, we're going to do this brunch tomorrow morning if you're around, blah, blah. So we made it really, really casual and didn't do like a formal invitation or anything, but it still ended up being awesome. My best friend that I've known since I was like 3 years old, she and her husband and their baby girl came to the brunch, as well as my parents, some of my family members, extended family and such that were still in town. So I love that idea. Having it at the hotel that you have like your wedding night at is really good. Also, always consider deals, right? Consider if you're having your wedding at a hotel, you're using the hotel for a room block. You have like your wedding night hotel room is going to be at that same hotel, and you have like your brunch at that hotel. You're giving that hotel so much business and so many more dollars. You can go to that hotel and negotiate some kind of a contract or a deal that says, you know, if I give you so many rooms, I don't want to have to pay an attrition rate, or if I'm paying for like my wedding catering and I'm paying for my brunch catering, like, can you give me some kind of, and you know, you can work out your negotiating skills in that way, but you can very easily go ahead and figure out, like, how do you do that? How do you make it work? How do you stay budget conscious and still have a beautiful wedding that you're going to love, and that's going to service, you know, you, your fiance, your families, and your friends. So Dora says, thanks for the help. I have another question. Awesome. Dora's awesome. So I found out that the campus that my fiance's parents went to will print anything on cardstock for free for all brides. I have no idea why, but they do. Okay, campus like a college campus? What kind of a campus is that? Anyway, all you have to do is send them the design. So programs, save the dates, invitations, any tips on how to design them. I love this. Okay, so here is kind of a marketing tip in terms of design. I have two ideas for you. One, go to Etsy, and you can actually, there are people who are graphics designers. They're college. Okay, thank you, Dora. You're so awesome. So there are people who are actually like graphics designers who design and like print materials, wedding invitations, party invitations, all that sort of stuff that you can actually get on Etsy. So if you were to go to Etsy right now and you were to go to like their search bar on the top corner of their website, and you were to just look up wedding invitation or wedding invitation template, like baby, I think actually the template that I used for my wedding programs was actually a baby shower template that I bought off of Etsy. It was. And it was like $15-20 for the template. I downloaded it into Microsoft Word, edited the information, used the words that I wanted to, and boom, like it was done. And it was super, super easy. Even if you were to find something that's like graphically interesting and isn't quite editable, you could still import it into Microsoft Word, and you could then like add a text box to it, and you could make it, you could kind of finagle and manipulate it in that way and make it look really, really, really nice. And so I would go to Etsy and I would look up different graphics design stuff, and it shouldn't be more than like $10, $15, maybe $20, $25 at the most, but that's super inexpensive, right? And then also be careful in terms for Dora, for if you're going to do your own stuff, find out from the campus and whoever actually does the printing, find out from them how they need things formatted and in what way they do, like if you need something that's double-sided printed, find out in which way that they, you could Photoshop it too, exactly, but find out in what way they need it like formatted in order to print double-side and make it look really, really nice. Other than Etsy, the other suggestion that I have for you is a website called Fiverr, Fiverr, Fiverr.com. And basically it's a bunch of freelance workers and other people, graphics designers, Photoshop people, who will, who say like, I will build this for you for $5. I will create this for you for $5. I will make your wedding invitation for $5. So you can easily go on Fiverr, you can go on Etsy, you can do all sorts of things to actually get your graphics in, and do that and spend the money. Spend $20 to make your wedding beautiful and personal and memorable. And you can, like, when you go to Fiverr, you could even say, you know, you can buy, you basically buy a service when you're on Fiverr. You don't go in and shop for like what do people have to offer, like photos and graphics and stuff. You basically find a designer and you say, here's what I want, and they do whatever you want for like $5, $10, $15. So I would say that is going to be the best way for you to get something that really is personalized and memorable. That if you go to Fiverr and you say, okay, here's my flowers, here's my concept, here's my colors, here's the this, here's the that, here's what I'm doing, you can then, that designer will then take that information and they'll custom build something just for you that's gorgeous on Fiverr. So Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. It's awesome. I actually use it all the time in my business. And also Canva, Canva.com. You can, if you understand Photoshop, or you understand, you know, even relative, you don't even have to understand Photoshop. I don't understand Photoshop. But even if you understand the concept of moving things around, Canva is a really, really great DIY way to create beautiful images. In fact, a lot of the blog post images that I have, that either I create or my assistant creates, we use Canva for all of it, honest to God. So go to Canva and you can do free stuff, you can do paid stuff, you can create your own, you can use your own images. Whatever you do, though, please, 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 and if you don't do this for yourself, just do it for me. Don't go to Google Images and grab everything that you see, because one, it's going to be bad quality. Two, it's not yours. It could have a copyright, it could have an infringement, you could have legal ramifications for that. And three, it's not yours in the sense that it's not made for you. You deserve to have a beautiful wedding, to have gorgeous invitations, to have amazing place cards, to have like incredible little details that your wedding guests are going to recognize, and that they're going to say, oh my gosh, Dora took the time to go and make all of this stuff herself. That's amazing, right? Don't you want that accolade? Don't you want people walking away from your wedding saying, oh my God, where did she find the time? I can't believe this. Look at this. This is beautiful. You deserve to have something amazing that is unique to you, that is perfect just for you and just for your wedding. So spend the $25. Dora's a photographer and she understands. See, Dora gets me. We're like this, okay? We got this. So Dora's awesome. But yeah, so Canva, Fiverr, Etsy are really, really great places to do all of that. So really good question, Dora. Anybody else who has questions, go ahead and like, comment, and share this video for me, and then ask your question below, and I'll be happy to answer it. Awesome. Really, really good question. I'm so glad we get to talk about technology. Truly, like, you wouldn't think that a website like Fiverr or a website like Canva is where you can go to find amazing things for your wedding. But truly, like, think outside the box. Consider the fact that all of these, like, wedding designers, wedding graphics people, wedding whatever, when you use that W word, when you use the word wedding, you're almost guaranteed to pay more than what you actually should, or what you need to, or what the thing is actually worth, because the wedding industry is so blown out of proportion, and you know that you're going to get charged more for it. So if you do a little digging and you think outside the box and you look at a product like Canva, a software like that, or you look at, you look at like Google Docs. I used Google Docs to house like an inventory of all of the things that I had for the wedding. I used Google Docs to track whether people had RSVP'd. I used Google Docs to keep like all of their addresses and phone numbers and names and kids' names and blah, blah, blah. Like, don't just look at a piece of software or a piece of technology or an app on your phone. Don't look at it just at face value or just for what it is. Consider what else you can use it for. Like, there were so many things, truly, that I use in my own business every single day that I was able to then take and translate it into my wedding and use a software that was not designed for weddings, but use it for my wedding, and it was amazing, and it helped me, and it helped with logistics and keeping things on track. And anyway, I really encourage you to think outside the box and to look at the tools that you have, and and go from there in terms of wedding planning. Another bit of advice is I'm constantly putting I'm constantly putting reminders on my iPhone of, at 5 p.m., remind me to call this person. Like today at, 6:45, remind me that I have a Facebook Live in 15 minutes, So you can set up reminders for yourself to follow up with vendors. Remind me at 5 p.m. to call this person. Remind me at 3 p.m. that I need to send a photo to the florist, and that will help you. Like, you don't have to keep all of this stuff in the front of your mind and then forget things and get overwhelmed or frustrated or sad or angry or pissed off or whatever. Like, you can utilize the tools that you have right here. Like, this is in my hand, and it's super simple, and the phone is always with me, so I know what I'm getting. And anyway, I just really encourage you to look at software and technology, think outside of the box, and how can you utilize things like that for your wedding. So I love you. Hope you're having an amazing day. And blessings to you with wedding planning and everything that you're doing. I cannot wait to see you next week for Wedding Wednesday right here on Facebook Live. If you have any questions, please go ahead and message me, email me, and you could always go to myweddingplanningcourse.com and check out the Getting Started course and the wedding day candy display course I just created. It actually walks you step by step and line by line through how to recreate the candy bar that I had at my wedding. So check those out, and I'll see you next week. Bye.